Hey, welcome back to Texas Tough Chicks. We're glad you're here. If you're here for the first time, welcome. If you're coming back for your poison, we welcome you back. And we're going to discuss Elon Musk. I don't really like to talk about people or celebrities or self-made celebrities or whatever, but he's such an interesting character to me. When I heard that he had a whole bunch of kids, that's when I started to look him up a
hmm
little bit. I know that some conservatives said, no, he's super conservative because they heard him on this thing, but then he does these weird, crazy things, and you go like, oh, he's not conservative at all. But
Right.
some of the interesting things about him that I read, and I don't even know if they're completely accurate, but that he was born in Pretoria, South Africa. His
hmm
father's British and his mom's Canadian. She was a model. His
She
dad
still
was,
is.
is she? Okay.
She still models.
And his father was, I think, at diamond mines or something, like wealthy, but an
hmm
engineer, I think, by
hmm
trade. And so smart, definitely from a wealthy family. Sounds like in the '90s they went to Canada, and he has like this dual citizenship. So I don't even know if he's an American citizen.
I don't know. I don't
um,
know.
but he's smart to get away from Canada and get here.
Right.
He's had 10 or 11 kids. I wasn't really sure college to go in, but the stuff he got into right away after college, he needed a lot of money to invest in. Like you
hmm
couldn't just go into, like, it wasn't like Microsoft in the garage, and
No.
kids that didn't have any money and they made a product. It was kind of like he had a lot of money to invest in something. Anyway, he has something to do with creating PayPal and then selling PayPal. And then I think that's where he's,
Mhm.
got the bulk of his money to invest in other things. And even since then, it sounds like he's been invested in different companies and couple bankruptcies. And that's not, unusual for
No.
big companies like that.
Nope.
And went down the road with Tesla and kind of jumped on the bandwagon of the EV, the electric vehicle trending thing.
In the
And
SpaceX.
I think that a lot of us went with that, just put him in the, oh, he's super liberal, box. We
hmm
just kind of went that down that road. I think he's wealthy enough that he thinks he's untouchable. He's kind of learned lately that he's not. But I
hmm
think he felt like he could really, instead of like playing into all the liberal baloney, that he could actually come out and say what he really thought in some of it. I don't know.
Well,
What's
I
been your
think.
perception of him?
Well, I think after. I mean, I think he did good things with Twitter. That he went in and
Yes.
kind of cleaned up Twitter and all that stuff.
Yes.
And so that's another reason why I think a lot of people went, "Oh, he's a good guy. He's a good guy."
Right.
I don't
And then
know.
allowing Trump to come back on instead of like being
Right,
a censor
right. And then there's been a
Nazi
couple of times
police.
when he basically has come right out and said stuff like, recently, there was something recent, I can't remember the topic, but it was one of those things where somebody said, and it was a reporter for one of the liberal, media, and they were talking about, well, don't you kind of like, don't you care that somebody, wouldn't advertise with you or wouldn't do with you? And he went, F them. I don't care.
Oh
And so
yeah, the guy who was interviewing just kind of like stood there with,
yeah,
he
he
said it
didn't
again.
expect
He
that
looked
at all.
around and he's like,
Well, he
I
didn't
don't know if he
expect
used
him
his
to
finger
say
to
that.
flip off or
No,
not.
no, he didn't. He just said he just like, I don't care. It's like, if they don't want to stay with me, I don't care. Go. And I
Yeah,
went,
but
see, that's
that's
what.
I don't see that as a conservative thing because he's
No.
so wealthy. He
hmm
said when he
Yeah.
said that, you're going to threaten
Right.
me with money. Well,
Right.
you could just F off. Oh, F
Right.
yourself. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Something
F
like that.
yourself. And And I thought, well, that's not really a conservative thing. That's like a king syndrome. That's
Right.
like I got so much money, I don't really care what you think. You can't threaten me with money.
Right.
That's not really a conservative thing. Now, I wish
No.
he was Texas tough. Like he was just like, he's willing to lose everything and tell them to go F themselves. He's
Right.
not at
Right.
that point. He's
No, he's not. He's not.
$240 billion. If he loses a company, if he loses
hmm
Tesla, he's probably still okay. I
Yeah.
know he's been on BuzzFeed. Was that what we saying? BuzzFeed? The kind
BuzzFeed.
of
Yeah, I think it was BuzzFeed.
conservative guys that do like parodies and stuff. And
hmm
I saw that interview. It was really good. It was really funny. And they, talked to him a little bit about faith and he got very uncomfortable. But
hmm
um, maybe he grew up. Maybe
Maybe.
part of that is like I have kids. I'm doing business in America because I'm a good businessman. Obviously, he's a good businessman.
hmm hmm
And I know the government's corrupt. Is he riding the electric vehicle thing because he really believes in it? Because he
I don't
said
know.
some things that made me think that he's not really, but I think he's just wants the money, and
Well,
he
and
knows the government's going to back him.
I don't know. And see, that's the thing is I don't have a problem with anybody making money. I
Right,
don't. It's like
right.
good. If it's a good idea, especially if it's something that's beneficial
Yes,
to people, wonderful. Remember, you're riding on this whole bank of batteries, and at some point you have to replace the battery, and they're saying that that's as expensive as buying a small gas burning vehicle. They
right,
don't work in extremely low temperatures. So if you're living in Alaska, you can't drive one. In Florida during the hurricanes, they were literally blowing up. I've seen video of them blowing up on the highways. So there's a lot of stuff. Plus, just the fact all the components that have to go into it are rare earth minerals. I
right.
mean, you can see a lithium mine from
And toxic,
space.
and toxic.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So,
And
and
mining
right
that is
now,
toxic, right?
right,
So I
right.
mean, I don't know how people equate that with being environmental anyway.
It's
Like,
not. It's not. And right now they say,
even
like,
disposing of those batteries is not environmental.
oh, no, it's not. It's not. And right now, even out where I live, apparently there's a ton of them sitting on the parking lot of these new car dealerships and nobody wants them.
Really? Oh,
Well,
wow.
here's the
That's
thing too
interesting.
is like it was at Ford, I think it was Ford that had an electric truck and it doesn't go. I mean, it has to be recharged. It can't pull loads. There's a lot of stuff wrong with
Yeah.
it.
We
It's
haven't
it's
even seen one in our town in Texas. Not one. Not I have not seen one even driving through, which I love that about Texas. I
yeah.
do. Because in California or the
Oh
Northwest
yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever, they're all
Awesome.
over. It's kind of your badge of like I'm environmental.
Well, and I think that's what a
It's
lot of
my
people drive
virtue
it to.
signaling.
It is virtue signaling.
Yeah.
And then you see the certain stores that have their little, hookups for the EV charge it. And I'm going, okay,
Right.
that's all fine. But that little company is paying the bill for that electricity.
And that's not going to happen for long.
And yeah, they're not going to do it
Mm-mm.
forever.
It's already, I've already heard reports of people going, oh, now we're getting charged. And I'm like, okay, there we go.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
think the government's going to give up all of that gas money, that gas
Oh,
taxes? You think
well,
they're just going to go, oh, yeah, no problem. We want you to do electric. No, that's just baloney. They're going to charge you taxes on every kilowatt you use.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
what's going to
Well,
happen. And they're going to shut you
and
down when you use too much.
right. Well, and even during one of the last brownout blackouts in California, old Newsom said, "Hey, don't charge your cars today."
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Okay.
so I mean, not that Elon Musk will ever watch this. Hey, listen, it's a great product. Our son rented one, and I mean, they're very nicely done. They're very, the acceleration is exceptional. The
Mhm,
ride is very nice. I mean, definitely what was put into the car, the Tesla car, I'd say it's a good product. We just shouldn't be forced
mhm.
to buy it. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right. Yeah,
And
it's like anything else. It's like if people want them, buy them. If but then don't expect the whole country to put in charging stations every 50 miles just to accommodate you.
it's already happened. It's already
It
happened.
has. It
We've
has.
been doing a lot of driving across the country, and we see them everywhere. They're everywhere. I think there was one at a hotel we stayed at. I'm not kidding. There was one at a hotel. I think there you get subsidies. You get some kind of tax break or
Probably,
subsidy for putting
probably.
it on your commercial property. Now, back to the Tesla our son rented. Um, the one thing that really stood out to him is that when he went to charge it, it's not a fast charge. He had to figure out what to do with
It's
his
not.
time as he waited
Mhm,
for it to fully
mhm.
charge. Now,
Yeah.
but we decided, hey, let's get a hybrid because, if we're going to go back and forth to places and go across the country, we want something that gets better gas mileage, especially because
Mhm,
let's go, Brandon, we have these really horrible gas prices.
mhm.
And what we really loved is a hybrid because guess what? And why they didn't go
Yep.
down this road
That
is
I agree.
because they can't control you. But
Mhm.
the hybrids, the batteries charge themselves. You
Yes,
don't
yes.
plug them in,
Right.
and we get
Yes,
double our gas mileage. So
exactly.
you if you really wanted to be environmental, that's the route you would go, right? Because you would
Absolutely,
reduce all
absolutely.
of our fuel by half. People would
Right.
be more self-sufficient. They wouldn't be putting
Mhm.
this huge burden on our electrical system. And
Yep.
I feel like there's something more to this electric vehicle thing. And then Elon Musk being associated with it makes me feel like, Well, how conservative can you be when you're the catalyst that's like kind of driving
Exactly.
this? Like
Right.
that is giving up. You don't think that the government's not going to say to you down the future, we're all driving electric vehicles. Okay, if your name starts with this, then you're not driving on Mondays and Wednesdays. And if
Right.
you do, you get a ticket. I mean, you
Mm-hmm.
don't think they're going to control us like that? They're going to absolutely. They're going to say if you go over this many kilowatts per month, you're going to have this, additional charge, or you're going to have a ticket or something. And then on top of it, EMP hits, and I know that's
Oh,
controversial and
yeah.
that's the conspiracy theory, but that's the reality. Our government is getting ready for that event.
Mm-hmm.
That's a terrorist event.
Right.
EMP
Right.
hits, guess what? We don't have. We
Right.
don't have any vehicles. That's gone. It's gone. And
Nope. Nope.
trust me, some of us really smart conservatives are making sure we have those vehicles that we can get in and still
Right.
go. I think he's a good businessman. I think that's what
Sure.
it is. And when you're a good
Sure.
businessman, you can't be all in on all the stupid wokeness.
No, no, you
And I
have to
think
ride
he's a
the
thinker
fence.
too, because with the Israel
Mhm.
thing, remember he kind of agreed with, like, I don't remember, something he was controversial, like thinking that maybe Israel deserved it. And then, like a good thinker, he made the trip himself and he looked himself at
Mhm.
what happened,
Yeah.
and he took that information in. Unlike our American kids, he took that information, he critically thought through that process, and he said,
Mhm.
okay,
Mhm.
what Israel's doing right now is justified because of what happened.
Right. Right. Right.
And so
Self-preservation.
he's a thinker.
Yeah. Yep.
So he can't be all in on the liberal thing. Maybe he's right in the middle. I don't know. I
Probably.
don't know. He does have a huge influence on our country.
Mhm. Mhm.
Unfortunately,
Mhm. He does.
um, I hope he's American, and if he's not, that he will become Americans.
Or
'Cause-
even if he's not, if he's here, that he's upholding the American Constitution and the American values. So
right.
that's the thing is, if you're coming to my country and you're going to be
Yeah.
part of my country, then
And
do what we
influence our
do.
country and our
Right. Then
government the way,
then then do it according to our Constitution and our laws and the
right,
way of our life, and don't,
right,
come in and try to change
right,
everything.
right,
So,
right. And make your money. I'm good with that.
right.
Make your
Yeah, I don't
money.
care. Make your money, make all you
Even
want.
live in Texas, and I appreciate everything he's done on X. I really do.
Sure.
I think
I
he's
do
been
too.
very, very fair, and that's what it should be, open for him.
Yep.
If it
Yep.
isn't,
Yep.
you should just call it what it is, the
Right.
liberal talk tank.
Yep.
So I appreciate that he's pretty much allowed everyone to have a voice on there, and so, but otherwise, yeah. So,
And I love it when he went in and just cleaned house and he said, "Okay, you're out
yes.
of here."
I think that's when
You
people
I
really
love
thought he
that.
might be conservative, right? We
Yeah.
thought, okay, yeah, maybe he
Yeah.
is conservative, but
But
maybe he's a good
he was
businessman,
being tough, and I like that. So
right? Maybe he did that in Texas. Where's Twitter? Do you know?
I do not know.
Yeah, I don't
I
either.
don't know.
I don't care. I'm on it
A
so
and
rarely.
and you know what? Wherever it was may not be wherever it is now, so
Right,
maybe he moved it,
exactly.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
And he's smart. He'll move stuff too.
Yeah, he
So,
will, he will,
oh
so
yeah, like I know him.
I just
I know
remember
him. I don't care if I ever know him.
it was a really funny thing when he went in there, to the Twitter offices, and he walked in with a sink, and
Yeah.
he said he threw on everything, including the kitchen sink, and I went, "Well, that's clever,
Yeah,
I like that."
I know. The liberals didn't like that at all. That's when I
I
was like,
loved it.
oh yeah, I
Uh,
like this guy.
yeah,
But
be clever, be funny, I
yeah,
love it.
hopefully he just keeps maturing,
Yep.
and hopefully he gets a good Texas influence, not the liberal ones that try to hijack our culture here.
Yeah, so
And
talk to us, Elon, come
yes,
talk to us.
yes, come talk to us.
We'd love to talk
Or
to you.
we'll get you the right people to talk to, right?
That's right, that's right, that's right.
And yeah, anyway. Yeah, I guess the rest of us need to have a brain and
That's
think
right,
through things and not be influenced by someone we don't really even know,
that's right.
and stay Texas tough.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you next
Next
time.
time, bye.
Bye.